Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the call. Namaya has put this together, and we're going to be going through some cool stuff with astral projection, something that is maybe new for some of you. It was new for me. Before we kind of get started, I just want to prep you guys for what to kind of be ready for. If you've never experienced this before, just relax, breathe, just keep your mind clear. Because this is supposed to be calming experience, supposed to help you realize the inner you. But before that, I kind of just want you guys to know that from what I had this done with me yesterday, and I had a revelation, something that completely, it's opened my mind. And the craziest part is it's something that I had already been doing my entire life. Probably all of you have been doing your entire lives. So this may click. It will click, honestly, because it clicked for me. And if it clicks for me and I get it, most of you will understand it. So just know that this is something you have all been doing. And when you really see the simplicity of this thing, because what the truth is simplicity. Once you really see this is going to really open your eyes to like, what is the reality? What is the truth? What is it? I did, and it was crazy, completely shot me out of my body. Yeah. Y'all are going to be taking this thing to the next level. So, be ready, be excited, be open-minded, relax, keep your mind clear, listen to the beats, and take into what everything the Maya is going to say and do. You're going to see a live example here as well on, our friend Joe, and you're going to be able to relate and kind of see this thing happen in live time. So with that being said, I'm going to bring on Namaya, the godmother, the one that has brought us all here, and the one that opened my eyes to the truth, and is ultimately going to open your guys' eyes as well. So, Maya, godmother, take it away.
We're going to have Joe in this. Leg that I can give for that. All right, what's going on, guys? Unmute yourself. Say hello. I want to hear some hellos.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, Derek?
What's up?
Hey, Caesar. Nice to meet you.
Hey, what's good?
Nice to meet you too.
Alfred.
Hey.
Hi. Hi, ladies, queens, goddesses.
Hello.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I know that you guys are excited to figure this out. The beautiful part about it is that you've already been doing this shit your entire life. It's nothing new. I'm not going to teach you anything you don't already know or that you're not already doing. I'm just going to awaken trigger your memories so that you actually know what it is that you're doing. So to do that, I'm going to do a live experiment, which I did, like Ryan said, on him last night. And he had this awakening in the kitchen last night. It all made sense for him. All right, so let's see how do I mute?
Yourself?
No, not myself. I don't need to mute
Go
myself.
over the team.
There we go. Mute all. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay, so Joe, I'm going to bring Joe in because I already did this to Ryan.
Yep.
So I need you guys to see this. And if you have a partner with you, where you are, that's what I would have preferred, was you have a partner. If you don't have a partner, then just follow along with what I'm doing with your own hands. You're going to do the same motions that I'm doing to yourself so that you can anchor, as Joe was saying, your feelings inside of yourself so that you can go back and project them at any time. All right, so this is Joe. Have you ever done anything like this? What we're about to do? I haven't even told him yet. I don't even know what we're doing. All right, so you know that this is legit, authentic, and I'm just taking you without even telling you what's about to happen to you. We're going to do this. All right, so what I'm going to do is, and if you have a partner, follow along. If not, do this to yourself. Your arm right here needs to lift it up. Now I'm pulling this up so that you can feel my hand. I'm going to create a trail. You guys do the same thing. And I'm just going to do the same motion up and down your arm. And I'm going to feel it intently. So I'm going to leave a track of what I'm doing on you. And you just pay attention to where it's going and what it feels like and continue to hold that feeling. I want you guys to do the same thing. rub yourself on your arm, anywhere in your body, and remember it. Close your eyes. Feel every bit of the experience. Okay, you feel that. Can you still feel it? You can still feel the track of where it was. I want you to take yourself to that moment. I want you to feel my finger. Even without my finger there, I want you to feel it going in the same track. All the way up to the top and then back down. Can you feel it? That's what I want you guys to do too. Feel your finger that you just had on there. All the way up to the top and all the way back down. Feel it. You have to be able to feel this feeling even without touching yourself. Still there? You still feel it? Like I'm still touching you, right? So hold that feeling. Don't let it go. Hold on to the feeling. When you're feeling it, hold it. Don't let go. Keep holding. Keep holding. Hey, babe, can you still feel it from last night? Keep holding. Hold the feeling. Now what I want you to do is while you're holding this feeling, I want you to slow it down and speed it up. Feel, for you specifically, feel it going faster up and faster down and then slower up and slower down. However you want to do it, you can make it go fast or slow as you're doing it, but speed it up, fast and slow, so that you know that you're in control of the feeling that you're feeling now, even though that I've stopped touching him, he's in control of that feeling, and you stop touching yourself, no pun intended, you're in control of that feeling. You feel it? Can you control it? Yeah, yeah. So keep holding that. You guys hold it too. All right, so what I want you to do now that you feel it, I want you to let go of the feeling. Tell me when it's let go. You guys let go of the feeling as well. Just let go. Now it's back to normal. You're having a hard time letting go? You don't want to let go. Well, here's the thing, is that you held that feeling so long that now it's anchored inside of you. Now you have that feeling inside of you. So you can go back to that feeling at any time that you want to go back to it. It's no longer a, what does this feel like? It's, I know what that feels like, and I can pull it up and I can project it out of myself at any time and feel that feeling. So that's basically astral travel. Because the moment that you now go back into that feeling at any other time, you're traveling. You're astral traveling and creating that atmosphere and that feeling that you're going through. Like I was telling you earlier, there's three pieces to yourself. The one that you see yourself being, the belief of yourself, this is the one you want to be, the belief of yourself, what you really think you are, and the one that meets in the middle as your physical reality. So in that physical reality, you are literally projectors. And what you're doing is you're projecting your desire, what you want for your life, out into a holographic realm in front of you. We all do this. We get lost in our days and in our times and space, and we daydream. They call it daydreaming. You're astral projecting. You're creating your life in that moment. Now, the key to it is being able to take the feelings and include them into the projection. So like I was telling Ryan last night, you can think of the things like, say you want a new car. You have to find things that feel the same way as that car. If you don't know what it's like to be sitting in that car, then you need to correlate it with other feelings that you have at some point in your life of what it was like to sit in the car. You know what I'm saying? You bring that into that realm. You use all of your senses in that moment. So when you're feeling this, what you just did to yourself, that gave you a physical reality of a feeling that you can go back to. And so you know what it feels like when a hand touches you. Even if it's not touching you, you know what that feels like when the hand touches you. So now you can go, there's a hand touching me. You know what it feels like to sit up on a high. This is what I was telling him last night. You can go to the Eiffel Tower right now. We're all going to go there together right now. We're going to the top of the Eiffel Tower. Why? Why are we going there and how are we going there? Those are two different things. The reason we're going there is because we can. And why are we going there is because I need you to see how easy it is to project yourself and travel astrally. So all of us know how tall the Eiffel Tower is. Not the exact specs, but we know it's really fucking tall. We know that you know when you get on something like a roller coaster or a slingshot or something that takes you, or Ferris wheel or something, you're way up there, you're looking over a balcony, you got this pit in your stomach that's just like, it takes your breath away, it takes your stomach. And you feel that feeling looking down. So there, you have already triggered that feeling in that moment. You feel what it's like to be really high up in the air and looking down. You also know what it looks like from the visuals, the pictures that we've seen of the Eiffel Tower, both from the front of it and from the top, looking down. So now you have the visual that you can put with the feeling of the pit in your stomach being really high up, and now you're sitting on the rail, one of the rafters of the Eiffel Tower. You know what it looks like. You know what a rafter feels like. You know what the steel feels like. You know what it feels like to be up really high. You've got all of these ingredients now that you are baking this cake with so that you can actually go sit on the Eiffel Tower one day. We're sitting there right now together. If you're feeling all of these things, then we're all feeling that at the same time, and you can be in that space. And that's how easy it is for you to astral travel. You just take the things that you know, the feelings that you know, the visuals that you have, and you transmute them into the experience that you're wanting to have. So if you want to go to the Virgin Islands, let's say that, for example, you want to go to a Caribbean beach or an island somewhere. You know what the beach sounds like. You know what the beach feels like. You also have seen pictures of the Caribbean. You take those visuals with the sounds and the feelings and the smells and the tastes and the laughter and the fun and everything that you can think of that you've already experienced before, and you put it all together. And that's how you create yourself being there. But you got to realize that at all times, you are literally a projection. It happens in the projection first. We are the projection of ourselves. It comes out of ourselves, yes, but it happens here first. So everything that you want, you have to project it first. Look at yourself as a holographic being outside of yourself that is projecting what it wants at all times. And at the same time it's projecting, it's feeling all of those things at the same time. So therefore, your body is going to walk through your projection. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to everyone? Give me like a thumbs up or say something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah? Anybody have any questions? Okay. So, Alfred, yes, like a vortex, but it's just, you don't even have to look at it that way. You don't have to complicate it or anything. Just imagine a holographic projection of yourself in front of yourself that you can literally step back and look at. Like right now, as I'm sitting here, I can see the projection of myself in front of me like a holographic vision. It's not something that I have to think about. It's just I can see it, and I let myself automatically go there to seeing it instead of thinking that I'm crazy or that I don't see it, because we all do this. We get lost in daydreaming, as I said. We get lost in the projection of ourselves. We'll be staring at a pole, but we're a million miles away, and nobody knows what we're staring at, like you staring at the ceiling earlier. I do the same thing. I can be completely gone, and people have to, hey, where you at? You're projecting. You're astral traveling in that time. So here's the key. When I told you to take your finger and then or to take the feeling, go back to it that you've anchored, and you now move it fast or slow, you're now in control of it. So you're becoming conscious not only of your conscious state of being in your physical body, but now you're conscious of where you're traveling astrally and how you do it, what you're doing in there. And you're doing it not only when you're asleep, but you can do it while you're awake. Me personally, I do it in every second, every moment of my life, whether I'm asleep or awake. I'm constantly somewhere else. Like I was telling Ryan earlier, when I drive down the road, ever since I was a kid, I would run beside myself. So I'm actually projecting myself beside the car, running and jumping around on the roofs of every building that I pass by, doing a Spider-Man thing. I was projecting myself into that. So I'm always playing in two worlds at one time.
Chicken.
So that's what I'm saying is you guys have always been doing this your entire life. Whenever you find yourself in another realm doing something in your mind, because here's the thing, your mind, your subconscious mind is where all things are manifested from. And it cannot tell when it is a lie or the truth. Everything that you put in there with all of your emotions, say you feel this physical body, you see this room right here, you can touch this table, you can feel my hand, right? That's all real. You feel it with all of your senses. The same thing happens when you're astral traveling, you're projecting, you're manifesting. You feel it with all of your senses. You have to put all of that in there. That's where most people go wrong with manifestation, or they're not told that about manifesting, because it has to be as if it's real. You have to fake your subconscious mind into your truth. It has to be tricked into truth. And that's how you get it. So you're becoming conscious of all of that while you're manifesting at the same time. And that's how you become not only conscious of yourself, but a conscious creator of self in a preventative fashion. Does that make sense to everyone? Thank you, Caesar. Let me see what comments I've missed. That is what my purpose is. Thank you, Alfred. I like to simplify things. And the fact that life was a complicated mess and that we were all just floating through, I couldn't deal with that. And I had to figure out how life worked. So I figured out I noticed how it all worked and decided to teach it. And that's part of it, because everything that we think is beyond ourselves is always ourselves. Whether it's the signs that we're getting, it's the feelings that we're having. I feel I should do this. Well, do you really feel that way? You're telling yourself you feel that way, but is it true? You know, there's a lot of discernment that comes into it. But as far as astral projecting, you all have done it your entire life. And you can take anybody through what I just showed you, and you can get them to control that feeling. Can you go back into that feeling? Because I can feel myself do it to myself right now.
Go back.
Yeah. Can you guys go back to that feeling? Did you guys do that? Did you do it with me? Justin. See? You don't even want to come back. Look, you're talking, yeah. You're talking to somebody. I had almost knocked myself out in the Caribbean because I was lost in the other world. Like, I should not be driving. I should not be walking with walls in front of me or anything, because I get lost in other realms, and before I know it, I'm walking into a door or into a staircase or driving off a cliff or whatever it is. I stay in the other realm so much. I have to have a driver back there that takes me everywhere. But I have to stay there. It's why you don't drive. See, I'm not alone. But that's the thing is, we see that other world that we're trying to create so real in our reality. You're there right now. You're over there. Exactly. You don't even want to be in this reality because you know it's not reality. You know that it is a bunch of illusion that was fed to you to keep you from seeing the reality or being the reality. So, if you guys have any questions, you thought it was just you? No, it's not just you. If you have any questions, let me know. Unmute yourself. I just wanted to take you guys through that so that you could actually see how to do it. So now whenever you go and you want to astral project, put on some astral projection music. Realize, one thing that I was telling him, because he was having an issue with when we're sleeping, laying down, and he's trying to astral project past certain locations of things that he can actually see or remember is there. The beautiful part about it is even when you're awake or when you're asleep, you're still a creator. So if you get to a point where you're coming out of yourself in your sleep and you're walking into a place that you don't know, well, you don't stop there. You just create there.
So I did it yesterday, so I was laying down in the bed. Okay. Can you guys hear me this far? Yeah?
Let him know if you hear me.
I think they can. So I was doing this yesterday, and I was laying in the bed, and the house that we were in, I remembered all the insides of it. I remember the doors, the bathrooms, the kitchen, the backyard. Like, it was crystal clear. It was like imprinted into my brain. And when I went to sleep, I immediately, this is, I don't think I told you this, I immediately was out. So I was visualizing myself walking around, and it was vivid. Like I could see the kitchen, I could see the backyard. But what happened was when I got to the backyard, we were standing like right near the door, like in the middle of where the grass was. And in the back part of the yard, there was like this cutoff, right? And there was a little tiny wood section, and then there was the other neighbor's yard across the way. When I got out and I was in my astral body, I couldn't get past that barrier because I didn't know what was on the other side. And then this is when she told me that there doesn't have to be something specific on the other side. It's what you create. And that's when it kind of was like, oh shit. Because it's like, you can still have all the things that you remember. Like there's nothing, you don't have to always like sit here and try to make up a house. Like you can be in your room right now. If you have your own house, what I suggest is practice astral projecting in your house. Something that you're familiar with, so that you don't have to like, it's not as hard because you don't have to try to sit here and create. Start with something you're familiar with so that you can see yourself actually walking around, because the moment you start seeing yourself do it, you're actually astral projecting. When you get to a part you can't seem to get past, let your mind do its thing. Think of something else. Think of something, just thoughts in your head. Let the creativity just come out and let it just go.
Yes.
That's where I think that's what made most sense to me, because I started in something that I could actually see.
Yeah, you were trying to.
It was when I got to that barrier, I didn't know what was out there, which is what caused me to get out of it.
Yeah.
So that's where I was like, got it. So for those of you that are trying to think, well, I don't know how to start. Start in something you already know. You all live in a house. You know the house like the back of your hand. Start inside your house.
And if you're laying in your
and
bed,
open your door like the Matrix. You know, when you open the door in the Matrix, right? It's another world. Picture it.
Yeah.
What's in that world?
And if you're laying in your bed and you already know what it feels like to sit up in your bed, you already know what it feels like to climb up out of your bed, stand up from your bed. These are those things that these are those things that you actually have to do whenever you are going to astral travel. You have to feel that. Some people say to pretend like you're pulling on a rope. Well, you have to know what it feels like to pull on a rope to pull yourself there to be able to do that. That's why some people can't do that. But you do know what it feels like to turn on your side and push yourself up and sit up and walk away from your bed. So that you,
I've never done it before, but the moment I was able to look inside the house, remember, that was so easy.
Yeah.
Like I was walking through walls.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I knew where I was at. That's the lesson you need to teach. Start somewhere you fucking know.
Yes, exactly.
Start somewhere you know. And then get creative.
And the same thing works for remote viewing, and that's a whole different discussion. And Mr. Luis Dominguez is the king of remote viewing. But it's also the same way. You have to like let yourself go in a way that you can actually just let what you're trying to see in. You're not dictating to it what it is. You're letting it come in. And so that's how I was able to do with Kyle. I went through his house and told him where things were in his house. Never been there before. And he was tripping out because I could tell him what it looked like, what was there, where the light switches were, where the connectivity of everything that he touched was. Because I was connecting to him and I was letting all that information come to me without me dictating to it what that information should be. So I was just speaking what I was shown. And it happened to be 100% right. So it's the same kind of thing. Let go when you want to remote view, you want to see things that are out there, go through people, see their lives and things like that. You just let go and let it in. And you pay attention to what you feel, what resonates inside of you. And then for astral travel, it's your feelings. Derek, what's going on?
And I had a quick question. Would this be good to do after meditating?
Yes. Absolutely.
Like, will that like speed up as far as in the, how should I word it, the process with this? Like, because your mind is at that point after meditation at a calm, state where you can really, control your thoughts in a sense, like on a more higher level.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do it when you do that. Me personally, I used to only do it when I was meditating, but now I do it in every aspect at all times. As I'm talking to you right now, I'm astral projecting myself. I'm never in one space at one time. And just
that's lit.
like I'm always doing that. And yes, Lewis, I know that because Miss Nikki pulled me into hers one time, and it was just a few days ago. And I was like, oh really? We're going here now? I'm going in bed with people? Come on. So yeah. Yeah. So any other questions? I need to know that this makes sense to everybody. Go ahead, Derek. I see your hands up again.
No, I didn't have a question. I'm still kind of thinking because this is like the astral projecting thing is new to me, so I understand it. But you know, with anything, is practice makes perfect. So
Yeah,
obviously, it's repetition.
That's the thing. It's not new to you. Ever since you were a kid, what'd you do when you were a kid? You played with your imagination.
That is true. You would think that, let's say, like if you're, you know, outside or whatnot, you know how you have the little toy guns, like playing around or whatnot. Like if you know you were like in the war or something, like you know different scenarios, like as a kid. But like you said, imagination.
Yes, that is astral travel. That's it. And yes, Alfred, the memory is not the limitation. It can be if you allow it to be.
That's what mine was.
Yeah, that's what his was until I let him know that if you get to a place of limitation, just like with our physical reality, we get to a place of limitation. We create beyond that limitation instead of allowing that limitation to exist. Yes, Caesar.
Yes. So is lucid dreaming part of astral projection? Because I do a lot of lucid dreaming. I've gotten pretty good at it. I usually can feel things in my dream and control my dreams. Is it the same as astral projection?
Yes, it is. Because you got to realize that even in our sleep, we are still manifestors. We are still creators. So in our sleep and our wake, we are always astral projecting in either direction. And it's becoming conscious of both states of being that we can control both states of being. And that's how you get lucid dreaming.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Alfred.
Yeah, so you're saying when it comes to a limitation, when your memory becomes to a limitation, you should create something like imagination. Like you should just imagine
Yes.
whatever you want. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You could go to open up your back door of wherever you're staying like he did, and if he couldn't have seen past it, he could have created a magical fairyland with unicorns and rainbows and rode a Pegasus through the sky. Like that's what he could have done. You know?
Okay.
You don't have to limit yourself. I mean, shit, I'm gonna fly. Why would I limit myself to I can only walk to the house if I'm astral traveling. I can do any fucking.
Cool. Okay. Cool. Thanks.
So like Derek, what do you get? What are you thinking about when you're working out? Like when you focus in, like where's your mind at when you're working out? Because some people like, I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll project myself. Every time I do a specific workout, I'm seeing my future. I'm literally seeing.
Yeah, you're seeing the results before they happen. Like you're saying, like, damn, okay, like I'm, you know, doing these curls and I can see my biceps pumped, you know, getting pumped and, you know, getting more defined and kind of projecting yourself in the future.
Yeah.
So it's like that's something. That's another example.
Same concept, pretty much.
Yeah, or when you're creating your business, for you, Derek, you're creating your travel company. You already see where it's going. You're projecting the outcome, and then your body is just walking through your projection. Same thing with you, Alfred. You projected your Bitcoin success. You saw the vision of where it was going, and then your body played out the outcome of it. Just like we see where our project is going, and our bodies are playing it out. It's the same thing. It's always the projection first. Nothing exists but the projection of yourself. And what do you believe about that projection? What are you going to pick out of that projection that you actually want to believe is your reality? Because you got to look at it this way. You don't need to believe anything. Believe nothing other than what serves your greatest and highest good. If the belief structure that the matrix is trying to program into you does not serve your greatest and highest good, get rid of those beliefs. Take yourself to a blank slate where nothing exists but you, and what do I want to create? What do I want to believe my life is? Because each belief has an outcome. So then you have to take each belief, put them together like a formula so that you get the actual equation that you're looking for, that end outcome that you were looking for. But if you have this chaotic belief structure where you're just taking in anything and everything everybody says, and there's no organization to it, there's no dictation, there's no direction to it, there's no assuring, as Lewis would say, of your flow, then it's just all over the place, and you're going to get an equation of chaos, and then you're going to be asking, why the fuck is this happening to me? The reason it is because you didn't make a clear decision. The universe that serves us, this God system, wants us to make a decision, because without that decision, it cannot get clarity, and it loves clarity because through clarity, it can create. Without that clarity, it can't create. So you get served a bunch of shit all over the universe, thrown all over it, trying to figure out why you're learning all these lessons, and the lesson really is that you need to make a decision. Same with astral travel. You need to make a decision to feel every aspect of it. You don't know what it feels like, you know something that's similar to it, use that feeling. Yes, Derek. Alfred, or you want to say something? Both of you have your hand up. Alrighty, is that it? Any other questions anybody has before we're done here? But don't take trail mix with you.
But that's so good. They're good.
I know.
It tastes amazing.
All right, so I guess that is.
I got a question.
Okay, go ahead.
What is your particular daily ritual to manifest whatever you desire outside of this concept of astral projecting? Like, do you have like a certain daily ritual that you follow each and every day?
Well, it's a every moment ritual, and it's
Okay.
I'm that type of lazy smart where I want to do shit the most effective, like point A to point B. Let's get this shit over with. I don't want to have all the excess fat on it. So for me, I like to do it. I'm projecting myself, meaning I'm seeing my vision of where I'm trying to go. I'm making a decision that is the end outcome that I want. I'm following my signs without logical sense. I don't care what the world thinks about what I'm doing, because I know what I'm doing based on my experience and my path that I'm walking. And as far as manifesting, I just believe. I just walk in a state of conviction, knowing that it's all working out for me at all times and everything is falling at my feet. I don't have a belief structure if I have to work my ass off to get what I want. Because then you build, like I always say, you build a mechanical world, this lane. You get in your lane, literally. Pick a lane and fucking get in it, because what you're doing is you're building this mechanical lane, this box that only you can exist within. So here's this box of I have to work my ass off or I can't have what I want. So then you must do everything that correlates inside of that box with working your ass off to actually get what you want. But if you build another structure, and instead of that one where you see that structure is non-existent, that it's limitless, it's infinite, and that everything is always flowing. There's holes all through it, so that it's always bringing in everything of your abundance that you can imagine, just falling at your feet. And all you have to do is just move. All you have to do is just walk towards it. That's it. That's the kind of belief system that I have. I make my life effortless so that it just falls at my feet. I don't have to work for it.
You let it flow easily, like like the ocean flows. It just flows. There's no thinking about it or nothing like that. It just flows.
Right, and the work is in the projection. That's where my work is. The projection of the visual, the projection of the feeling, the projection of the taste, the sound, the smell, the projection of all of it. Every bit of the experience, believing that I am it before I get to it, because I am it right now. To think that I am not it, to think that I have to get to it, means that I feel that I am not it and that I lack it. And if I lack it, then I can't have it. And I put myself in a cycle of I am almost there. I'm just almost there at all times, just stuck in the cycle, never getting there. So I don't have to get there. I am there. So therefore, everything just falls into place. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And do you use crystals at all, as far as in with this?
Nope.
Like quartz?
No, I don't use anything. I go straight to source. There's a lot of tools that we can use on the table that a lot of energy healers use. They use the crystals, they use the incense, they use all these things. I light an incense every once in a while because I like the smell of it. It's not because I think it's going to do anything. I like sage because I like the smell of it. It's not because I think it's going to do anything. None of these things actually do anything unless I put belief in them that they do something. So if you think that you need crystals, then you need to use crystals because that's your belief. Just like if someone believes that they need to take medication that the pharmaceutical companies is giving them, they need to take that medicine, whether it's good for them or bad for them, because their belief system is that if they take it, that it's going to heal them, so they need to take it. Whereas I can't take it because I feel it's going to harm me. So it's just going to harm me if I take it. So I can't take it. I have to find another way. I have to create my own medicine because that's my belief system.
Right. So it's all in your belief system, pretty much. That's what it comes down to.
Yes, you don't have to. The tools are there for you to use and play with and have fun. Other than that, you do not need them.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm still learning about crystals and whatnot, and I use them when I meditate. Because supposedly they have a lot of meanings behind them, depending on what crystals you actually get and collect and whatnot. But yeah, that I was just wondering.
Well, you got to look at it this way. When you're talking about the crystals and they have a lot of meaning behind them, where did that come from? That understanding inside of you that they have a lot of meaning behind them. It came from someone else that told you that, correct?
Exactly, research.
And someone else who told them that, someone else who told them that, or someone that experienced that because that was their belief system. What you're getting is information from people who have point of views, from perspectives of their experience in life. It doesn't mean that anything is true. Nothing is true but what you believe to be true. That's it. So if you're listening to me right now, you don't have to believe shit that I'm saying, and I don't want you to believe what I'm saying. I want you to take what resonates with you and put it into your blueprint and create your life from that blueprint. You don't have to believe everything that I'm saying. That doesn't have to be your belief system. I'm not going to give you a belief system. I'm just going to give you the tools to create a belief system with correctly.
Nice. I like it.
Alfred, you got a question?
No, you already answered my question. I don't know why it says.
It had your hand up, so I'm gonna lower your hand. All right. Any more questions? All right, guys.
Hey, I see Pasha's on here. What's up, Pasha?
It is. Yes. Yes, travel and I am. That is true, Lewis. I am is that state of being that is nothingness, that with the potential, infinite potential to be everything in every moment, in every time, in every space. And
Hey, quick question. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I happen to do this once in a while, but like, how do you get naturally high?
How do you get naturally high?
Yeah, I tend to do that when I'm talking about something that interests me. Like I'm teaching somebody something, and I happen to get naturally high.
Yes.
But how do you get naturally high by yourself?
It's through the happiness, through your passion, like Ryan was just saying. It's through those things. Literally, before we got on this call, what did I say to you? What did I say I was feeling? No, I was feeling an acid trip. I don't even, I don't have anything related to that. I was like, man, I feel like I'm having flashbacks. Yeah, and into LSD. I was having flashbacks of it. I get the feeling as I'm talking about it.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Yeah, it's just getting into that happiness. Yeah, that's why I write on everything. Everywhere I go, I write "be happy," because happiness is the best high. It's the euphoric feeling. You don't need. And here's the thing: is people think they need these medicines. Yes. They have medicine and drugs backwards. The drugs you get from the pharmacies and the doctors, those are real drugs. The medicine is the stuff that's illegal for you. And so the medicine, so shrooms or ayahuasca or LSD, weed, things. Those medicines, those are temporary. They're temporary connection to source. You take it, and then you're like, oh, I see everything, I feel everything, and then you get off of it, you forget everything that you saw and felt, and you go right back into your flesh bullshit that you were in before because you didn't spend the time to actually dissect yourself and understand why you're doing everything that you're doing. You literally have to dissect yourself like the experiment in high school, dissecting the frog. You need to know every little detail about yourself, because knowing every detail about yourself will teach you every detail about every being. Because we're all wired the same way.
Anything that we've been taught since fucking day one about what's illegal, it's like they made it illegal because they don't want you to know about what is going on right now. They don't want you to know the inner you, the feelings, the abilities that every single one of us has. It's like That's why I'm like, fuck everything.
Well, when you start
We're doing this.
dissecting yeah, you start
That's
asking
the strangeness
questions,
of
though.
spirit.
Yeah,
Take mine in there.
No,
No,
like you asking questions that feel more human. This is how you physically change everything in the reality world. They don't want you to change.
but you need to ask yourself more questions than anything, because a lot of people they get into, and I was there. This was me 3.5, almost 4 years ago, where I was taking in every YouTube video, every guru's information, everything that I could from outside of myself. It's just, I would go on binge watching all of this stuff, and I was like, yeah, I get it. I understand what's going on. I was still filling myself with someone else's fucking perspective. I still wasn't having a free thought in my mind. I wasn't thinking for myself at all. I thought I was. I thought that I got it, but I didn't get it at all. And I was still regurgitating everybody else's understanding instead of letting everybody else's understanding resonate within me into my truth. And when I cut off the entire world and I stopped listening to the videos, I stopped listening to the opinions, I stopped listening to the teachings, I stopped listening to everything, and I started to just listen to myself. I started paying attention to myself. Why am I thinking this? Why am I feeling this? Why am I saying this? Why am I acting this way? Why was my favorite question. And I didn't ask anybody else why. I asked me why. I forced myself into answering that question. And that's how I became self-aware. And from self-aware, that's when everything just amplifies in your life. But as far as the medicines go that I was just talking about, you don't need those things. You don't have to have weed. You don't have to have ayahuasca. You don't have to have LSD. You don't have to have shrooms. You don't need any of that stuff to find this stuff. I live in a 24/7 trip. I am on all of those things 24/7 without taking any of them. If I do take it, I'm sitting there saying, this is my everyday life. What do you got? What's going on here? This is 24/7 what I see. It doesn't change anything for me because I'm already there. So I don't see the things that other people see because they're not there. That's why they see it, because it's trying to wake them up to seeing it.
Yeah.
But the key to keeping that constant feeling is to dissect yourself. Why the fuck out of yourself until you are in a natural state of high at all times. And that high becomes happy, and that happy becomes everything.
You can use the 432
Yeah. Yeah, use your third eye. Do what?
Yeah, 432.
Yeah. But that high is the H in happy. It is. It really is. Because look at it this way. I'm going to simplify manifestation for you. If you're happy all the fucking time, what's going to happen to you if you attract what you are, not what you want, and you're happy 24/7, nothing affects you, then what's going to happen to you? You're going to have events flock to you that make you happy. And you're just going to get more happy and more happy and more excited and more overwhelmed with joy till you want to scream. And at that point, you just want to rip your damn meat suit off and like go fly astrally out of your body because you're so fucking happy and you just, all the energy in your body, you just can't control it because you just feel like bursting out of where you are because you have now amplified yourself so fucking much in the right direction. And that happiness that you're just manifesting shit from nowhere that you didn't even think about. You don't even have to think about it. That's the thing. If you don't want to complicate it, you don't want to get detailed with it, just be happy. Just fucking be happy. That's it. And you're just going to manifest happy. Be overwhelmed with joy, adrenaline rushes. You know what these things feel like. Manifest adrenaline. And then all these events of adrenaline are going to find you. But if you are manifesting negative bullshit, you're just going to find more shit. If you're worried, you're stressed out, you're freaking out about something, well, what do you think you're fucking doing? You're creating more experiences for yourself to be stressed out, worried, freaking out.
People
Stop
call
it.
this the law of attraction, but it's amplified. 10, 100 times more amplified.
Yeah. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to it, but the simplest form that I can tell you is just be happy. Just be happy. No matter what. Because these situations that are in your life right now that you are not happy with, they will not leave you until you let go of them, until they do not affect you. Once it does not affect you, you now have the power and it must leave.
So don't get attached to materialistic bullshit.
Yeah.
It's going on YouTube.
Yeah. Yes, it's going on YouTube. On this Powerful. Yeah, I do have one, Derek. It's a Godmother channel. I have a lot of stuff on there that you can go check out, and we're actually going to start the Conscious AF videos
Conscious as fuck.
where I go in and as it's funny because I've been teaching him a lot of things, and through his awakening, I'm like, well, this is easy for people to get this way. So it's going to really transcend me into, because now I'll be doing live events and things like that. So I'll be going through towns and anywhere you guys want me at, I can talk in front of people. And
What the sound is, just go on YouTube and type in astral projection binaural beats. That's all it was.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you can listen to them while you're
Any
sleeping.
one of them works.
Yeah. And you can do, Devontae, he knows about this one. I am affirmations. I was doing my I am affirmations on my own, and then Devontae's like, hey, here's a video that you can listen to in your sleep. I'm like, fuck yes. Let me subliminally program myself with my authority as I am the Lord of my dominion. Yeah. So, any other questions? Yes, he is. Look.
He's getting.
He has transcended so much in the past 2 months. That's ridiculous.
Not even 2 months. The past 2 weeks.
Oh my God, we were standing in the middle of what was it, Mall of America?
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like weeks of me saying things just all of a sudden clicked while we're in America in the mall. He's like, none of this is real.
That was when we was
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
We were
Yeah,
sitting-
we were at the sushi place.
Yeah, it was like this place. It was like a mini market with food and like right there. I saw the codes everywhere around me. I was like watching the people walk by, the couples walk by. I'm like, they don't even know. They're fucking their codes. Like they have no idea what's going on. Like, this is all fake. We got sushi and I had a coffee too. And I'm just watching every person. I'm like, he's coming this way. He believes this thing. And this is why he is the way he is. I'm
Yeah.
like judging them as they walk past me. And it's like, I don't think I'm wrong. Like,
Yeah. Well, you get to this point where you actually start to, you see the code, you see that you are a program.
talk on dimensions.
I'm going to. You get to see that you're a program, and you are either being programmed by someone else or you are choosing to program yourself. Dimensions. Here's the funny part. Okay, I'm going to get into construct because construct's going to really break down all of this other stuff for you. You are nothing. You are I am, with the potential to be infinitely anything at all times, right? So whatever you believe about yourself, whatever dictation you put out there of your belief, that's a construct. All right, that construct now is like a mirror that is around you, like a box. And then you get another construct. So you start out with I am, and then it's I am male or female. Bam, there's a box around you at this point that constructs you into and bounds you to I am male or female. And then it's I am a son or a daughter. And then it's I am a husband or a wife, or I am this career, this religion, that religion. I am this, I am that. Yeah. Each one of those beliefs is now a constructed box that you have put around yourself as a mirror. And so the more that you believe about yourself, the thicker your veil is. That mirror is your veil. All those layers that you have now created, you have to peel them off and go back to I am nothing. Because the more, like I said, the more you believe about yourself, the thicker that veil is. And so imagine me and you are sitting here and we have all these beliefs about ourselves and we're trying to talk to each other, but we have these thick ass boxes that are mirrors around each other, and we're trying to talk, and our words are literally hitting our box, bouncing off and coming back to us. We do not see each other and we do not hear each other. It's like when you walk up to somebody, you're like, yeah, you walk up to somebody and you're like, you know what, you feel, I feel like I've known you forever. I can feel your essence. It's like I can almost see you in there because all I see is that box around you, but I can almost see you. It's when you get rid of all of that and you go back to I am, that no longer is there this thing inside of you because I see you. You're there. You're right there in front of me. I don't see the box anymore. And that's part of the construct.
That's happened this weekend.
Yeah. that's part of the construct. So this fifth dimension is a construct. This energy is a construct. This love is a construct. And I'm going to touch on love because people, they get in this direction of this is how things are supposed to be in a perfect world. Well, the thing is that love, the frequency of love can exist in both spaces at the same time. So someone could do some really fucked up shit because they love to do it. Someone could do some really good shit because they love to do it. Both of them are exhibiting love at the same time, even though the traits and the action that's coming out of them is completely different. It's still the same frequency. So it's all a construct. You have to believe that there is nothing but your potential to create anything and believe anything you want to. Even the words that are coming out of my mouth, you can give them your own meaning. You are the Lord of your dominion. You can dictate all of its existence. And even nothing, yes, I am nothing, which is everything. Because nothing is everything and everything is nothing. So when it comes to the dimensions, your mind blown. I'm used to that. Your dictation.
We have done our job.
Your dictation of a dimension is what the dimension is. Now, here's another thing. If you go into majority belief of dimension, then what you're going to do, if majority of the people on the planet believe that there is another dimension, then there is going to be that other dimension because the majority of the people have created it. If everyone is up in this uncertainty, then none of it exists other than the singular universe that you are creating around yourself and what you believe it to be exists. We co-creatively create, or co-collaborative creation, and then singular creation. So it's not just the universe that outside of us, it's the universe outside of us that revolves around us as well. The biggest lie they ever told you was that the universe didn't revolve around you. Yes, the fuck it does. Yeah, Derek, we have to. Derek, Alfred, there's a lot of people that I gotta talk further to. I know for sure Derek and Alfred, yeah, and Devontae, we've already talked. Caesar, you might be there. Run it away now. I'll see you soon, Devontae. You're very welcome. It is hard to not speak of heaven when you see heaven so vividly. And that's all you know. That's all you're walking in 24/7. So that's all you can see, that's all you feel, and that's all you talk about.
And this might be, here's the thing. I think I can relate to most of you more than she does because I'm going through it literally right now. So like, you have to understand it's going to be a little weird at first, but this thing, I'm telling you, once you get it in your mind and you have completely seeded that idea into your head and made that your realistic life, it will just be a habit. You will see the reality. You will see that nothing is reality, that nothing is everything at the same time. It's like you walk around, you're just like, I can do whatever the fuck I want, literally.
Yeah.
Not in a sense.
You walk around
but here's the thing.
that you are.
Here's the thing, though. You can't have it in an egotistical way.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I'm going to be a douchebag about this because now you're bringing your mirror, and again, it's bringing off the wrong vibe. You need to understand from a humble standpoint that you are the co-creator. You are the creator of your own life, and that it may be weird at first. Not everyone's going to get it. This is because we've been programmed not to get it. We've been programmed to look at anybody that sees this shit as weird, hippies, drug users, bullshitters, whatever. The everything, anti-Christ, however you want to say it, all of that. So understand, like, take this as it comes into your life, because all of you are going to experience different things. Me, I'm experiencing at an accelerated rate because I have the pleasure of being next to her every day. So it's a little different for me versus, you guys, you have things in your life that are going to obviously take you away. You're going to get caught up in your flesh. You're going to get caught up in the things that normal people or normal humans see. So come back to a state. If there's one thing I can kind of recommend, come find one thing that can always separate you from everybody, like your safe haven, your place of peace, your your domain, something that you can go to get away from the bullshit, the lies, and the matrix, in that sense, so that you can see nothing.
But
that makes sense.
as everything,
Yes.
constantly in full control of what you are creating.
Yeah.
Preventative creation.
Yeah.
Because most people, they don't take responsibility for their creation, and then they bitch and complain about the creation once it hits their reality.
Yeah.
But this is taking conscious preventative responsibility for your creation and creating the best you to be a complete asset to the world. Because if you're not doing that, you are literally being an injustice to us all. Don't do that.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy. All right, so I have a question. I have a question for you.
Excuse me. I have a question for you.
You're cracking up. All right, so my question is, I'm going to go one by one with you guys and see where you're at, what you're feeling in this moment. So, Christina, I know you came in late, so I'm going to skip to Catherine. I think is that how you say it? Catherine? I don't want to say it wrong. Can you hear me? Okay, let me unmute you. There you go. So where are you?
Wait, you can hear it.
Yeah, can you say something so I can see if I can hear you?
I think it's her. She has to accept the volume.
Do you have your audio on? Because it's not letting us hear you.
Check the audio. You have to connect to the Zoom. Yeah, she's on her phone. It'll be in the bottom left corner of your screen. Should say like connect to audio or something.
All right, so I'm gonna, while you try to figure that out, if you can figure it out, let me know. All right, I see it. All right, Caesar, your turn. Tell me where you at. Tell me how you feeling after hearing all this information. What did it help you with? Anything that you want to put on the table?
Well, yes. Well, it was. I'm still with my mind kind of blown because I'm just new in meditation, so I don't really know a lot. I'm trying to read Zen mind, and it's kind of complicated for me, like understanding it. So the way you explained it was very simple, and it really opened my mind as to how I can feel his feelings and get to that place and just create from that. And it's just like I've never heard it explained like that before. So kudos to you.
Thank you. I am glad. That was the whole point of this, to make it easy to understand. And I realized last night when I did that same thing to him, and he went, aha, and I saw it happen. I was like, oh my God, I can so use this to help people.
Definitely.
All right. So, Mr. Luis Dominguez, unmute yourself.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, yeah, you knew I was going to do it.
I knew it. I was about to leave before you did.
Yeah, so how are you feeling right now?
How am I feeling? Openness. I am that I am. I feel I'm traveling.
Yes, you always are. You're a remote viewer. You were always traveling all the time. You already know how this goes.
Yeah.
I appreciate the support, though.
Yeah. Well, I can feel the frequencies around the room, and where you guys are, and especially Ryan. It's remarkable. How he has gone. In 2.5 weeks, and
I've been watching.
Like I said, don't do that in bed. Okay, so.
Yeah, I'm taking that into consideration. I won't do that. I'll be standing my ass up all the better.
Thank you. Well, I feel that, and I feel like a new universe. Like you said, we revolve around the universe, and I also feel, like you said, the Eiffel Tower. You go up to high ground, you hold off the rail, and you're looking down. And I feel like you place an object in another room, you know, and you go back to another room and you use that object to look around because, you know, your essence is in that object that you touched, you see? So just like material things that you wear, you know, that, you know, wind fire, you know, it could be a necklace, it could be a shirt, it could be canceled. I'm just saying. Okay, I don't know if you guys went that far. You know, you feel these things, you travel through these things, you travel, you know, through each entity to where it is. And that's what's out there. That's what you have been explaining that I understand a lot is, you know, God is within you. You know, you are, you see what I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm explaining this right. And there's a different language out there. Okay, it's a universal language. You know that you get up in that 144, everyone understands.
That's the thing is that universal language is the feeling, that resonation.
Exactly. And then you have that feeling as a whole. You know what I'm saying? And the language is a frequency that people do not understand.
Yes.
You know, once you travel in that frequency, you travel together, and then you understand who God is. Just that.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, and everyone is God.
Each other.
Absolutely. And like I said, you know, there's a lot of babies being born out there, and they're universal babies. Right, Ryan? I'm just saying.
Well, they're already on that frequency. Those are the ones that need to be hearing this the most, so that they can rise into they can activate themselves into their knowing. It's like I was saying before, we try to look up the elders, but the elders are tainted with all of the programming that has happened and them having to battle all that programming plus trying to be their free thought self. But the children don't have that programming. They're acting in accordance with the natural state of existence. And so when we stop paying attention to the elders that are doing it complicated, that have already been programmed and their mirrors are all dirty, and we look at the children and how they're reacting to life and situations, then we can say, you know what, I could do better because I can be more like a child. Because when you realize that when you get back to your truth state, when you get back to being aligned with spirit, your higher self and God, you realize that you're a child. You go back to your childlike state. So the quickest way to get there is to emulate the children. The children are who we should be seeking, not the elders.
Absolutely. One word.
Yeah. So thank you for that. Love you. All right, Mr. Derek. Tell me how you feeling right now, brother.
I'm definitely feeling pretty stoked as far as just hearing this process of astral travel, because I've heard of it before, but I never really understood it. And now you definitely gave me a clear understanding on how the process works, and I'm going to be traveling everywhere. I feel like I'm in another dimension now, in another place now. I feel like I'm the highest version of myself. And what's crazy is ever since I started getting into spirituality and, is just trying to, better myself each and every day, mind, body, and soul, I feel like I'm becoming more connected with the universe. With that being said, meaning like numbers, like I've been seeing 222, 333, 444, 1111. Like I'm talking every day. I'm talking every day. I'm talking every day.
I know, and you're transcending. You're rising into that. And what I want you guys to get this visualized or this visual in your head is like you said that you were already projecting yourself. You were traveling. You were being your highest self. Well, in that moment, I need you to realize that like there's this chaotic energy, but it's also like it's like a volcano getting ready to erupt, but also a magnetic volcano. So it's just like doing this so that it can pull everything. You become a magnet. And so what you believe of yourself, the universe automatically serves you. And when you're saying you're becoming aligned with the universe, it means that you are being a servant. You're being obedient to yourself. You're serving yourself. You're serving all of existence because everything that is created around us to govern us that we live within is a servant.
Absolutely makes sense. But yeah, I'm feeling amazing. I appreciate these nuggets you're dropping tonight.
Bro, the numbers are just the beginning. If y'all are starting to see numbers, like that's like the first step, essentially, like sequences. And here's the thing, and I'm sure Maya, I don't know if you talked about it, but you code those numbers. You give them.
You're giving those numbers to yourself.
Yeah.
You're never not involved in everything that comes at you, because here's what you got to realize: is your spirit is yourself that has lived this existence millennials. So it's collected data from every existence, every choice you've made, every turn you've taken, every lesson that you've learned. It has all that information stored. And so now in this physical body that you're in right now, having this experience, your higher self, which is yourself that has experienced all of that, goes, hey, I know how to get you from where you are to where you want to be without you having to do this in the middle. You don't have to go through the struggle and strife. I can take you right there, but you won't listen to yourself. So therefore, when you don't listen to yourself, who knows best for you, you're going to hit those moments of struggle and strife.
You give
Dead
it
on.
meaning.
Yeah, and like you said, you give it all meaning. So everything revolves back into yourself. If you're having a bad experience, it's your fault. If you're seeing a sign, it's a sign you gave yourself. If you're seeing a sequence of numbers, it's a sequence that you gave yourself. What does that sequence mean? What does it mean to you?
Could mean
Right.
It
you're
means
right.
something to me, but you have to give it meaning.
Like,
What does it feel like to you? What is it saying to you? That's what it means.
like for me, like when I see a number, like a sequence, like a perfect sequence, like the ones that I see all the time are, it's either 1, 2, 3, 4, or they'll be the right number. Sometimes they won't even be in proper order. Like for example, it'll be like 354. You got 3, 4, 5, and there's 231. 1, 2, 3. So I see those, and that lets me know personally in my head that I'm on the right path. They don't have to be in certain chronological order, but my perception and what I've seen it is like I get the numbers that if you were to rearrange them would be in chronological order. I see those every day, multiple times a day, and we're always doing the right shit. We always go with the right vibe. So we're constantly seeing the same results, and we're attracting the right people.
I just saw what Pasha said.
What?
She said, check the meeting ID, your Zoom link
Oh,
number.
well, yeah, I made that on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Look at the Zoom meeting link. 210-543-1234.
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
4, 3, 2.
I did it
You
on
got 1,
purpose.
2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. Did you see my expression?
I did that. I was looking for chronological.
Yeah, absolutely. So, other than that,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the universe is agreeing with you. Exactly. So you
you're
have your own
agreeing with
perception.
you. You're agreeing with you.
You are the universe. You are you. I am
Yes.
is everything. So technically, you are agreeing with yourself, hence you're reaffirming everything you're doing. It's like this constant, nonstop.
Yeah,
flow of
and when
yourself.
you hear something, and you're just like, you have to go, wait, do I even want to believe this shit? Like, is it going to serve me to even know this fucking information? You get to that point where it's just like, fuck all this information. Fuck all this dumb shit that's happening in the world. Fuck all these perceptions
my
and all
numbers.
this stuff that everybody thinks is the right thing. What's important is what I believe all of it is. And what do I want to create with it? Because nothing fucking exists but right now in this moment. Nothing exists outside of what we're doing right now. Register that in your mind. Nothing else exists. It's all the imagination of what could exist. And you are either living in the fear of what could go wrong or the happiness of what could go right. And we've been programmed to cling to what could go wrong and fear that instead of be excited about what could go right. So pick which side of it you're going to be driving down. Are you going to be excited about what's going to go right, or are you going to fear what could go wrong? All right, so Alfred, where you at right now, brother? How you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling very experimental, like, cause you know me, like I'm a life hacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is something that I've been, like you said, it's something that we've been doing, but we probably not aware of it or don't know the meaning or the name of it. So, after hearing more about it and understanding more about it, I want to experience more into that to see what I can get out of that. So,
Right.
but yeah, it's been really interesting. So I'm feeling very inspired and motivated. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
And here's the thing, another thing I want you guys to realize is that all of this stuff that I'm teaching you, I did not learn from a book. I did not learn from a video. I've never met another person that ever astral projected. I didn't learn this shit from anybody. I learned it from my own experience and recognizing I spend so much time inside myself, questioning myself to figure out why the fuck things are happening to me. And then I go out and I talk about it, and then other people say it happens to them, and then it just automatically connects dots, and I realize that's what I did. I stepped back and noticed how things work instead of dictating to it how it worked. And that's how I figured all this stuff out. So I can go and I can lead entire groups of people in astral projection while they're in an ayahuasca ceremony or anything like that, or without it, because I am a shaman. But that's just a natural thing. It's not something that I just was like, yeah, I'm going to be a shaman. I'm going to figure out how it works, and I'm going to go teach people what somebody else taught me. No, I only teach you what I've experienced personally myself, because that is the only thing that makes sense.
Real talk.
All right, so now, Tori, how are you feeling? I don't think we have ever met. I don't know if it'll even let you talk. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go to Pasha. Miss Pasha. There you are. Look at that hair.
What you made me do.
What up, General Sauce?
What up with it?
So how you feeling right now? I know you came in late, so I can't even ask you. You missed like the meat and potatoes of it all. You're gonna have to watch the replay.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we had that conversation earlier, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's astral projection. Oh, I do that all day, every day."
Yeah. Yep. And that's why I laugh, because most people are like, I don't know, I've never done it before. I'm like, yeah, you have. Like, you've done it more than you've experienced life in your physical body.
Yep. Now I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
God
All
bless.
right. Godly. That's how we're supposed to feel. All right. So I think that's it. I just wanted to get all this out and blow some minds and have some fun. Yeah. And we're going to put this out on YouTube and out on Facebook, so you guys can share it with anybody that you know. Wake the people up. That is the point of these seeds we are planting right now. Athena! 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 That's our baby. Athena! Athena! I know. What are you doing? What's he doing? This is so recorded. What are you doing, Athena? Yeah. I was like, don't talk to me. You are not here. Okay. All right. Well, that is it. That is all I have for you guys tonight. I will just anybody that was on here, send me, or anybody that's not on here, somebody that sees it later, send me any questions that you have. I would love to answer them, because they will, one, inspire me to teach others the answers that I give you, and two, they will help me to create the most simplest way and effective way to rise mankind up into its ascension. All right. So, love you guys.
Deuces, people.
What's up?
Bye.
Thank you.